Today we're going to look at square roots and cube roots. And by the end of the video, you should be able to identify and evaluate perfect squares and cube roots. First, let's get some vocabulary. A radical expression is an expression that involves a radical sign, which is this. Another name for that radical sign is a square root sign. Keep in mind, they're radical expressions because they do not involve equal signs. Equal signs deal with equations. Right now, we're just looking at expressions. A square root is a number that can be multiplied times itself to equal another number. And a perfect square is any number whose square root is an integer. So what does that mean exactly? You can find it on a number line. And we'll take a look at that more. What I want to do first is take a look, and you can pause this if you need to, and just get an idea of the perfect squares from 1 to 30. Think about a square, which I have over here. A square that has the length of 5 means it's 5 on all the sides. And I can say 5 squared or 5 to the second power. That means the same thing. Again, I could say 5 squared or 5 to the second power. Here are your common perfect cubes from 1 to 10. Now, think about the image we just saw compared to this image. Here we have an actual cube, a three-dimensional figure whose side length is 5. In this case, and think even about the word cube. A square cube, a perfect cube is a number multiplied to itself 3 times. So in this case, 5 times 5 times 5, which equals 125. They're three-dimensional. Let's continue talking about square roots. Think about this. 5 squared or 5 to the second power equals 25. How do we get that? 5 times 5. We are not saying 5 times 2. No, that is not correct. It's not 5 times 2, it's 5 times 5. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off the screen. Now, going back to what I was saying, think about 5 squared. It equals 25. But is there something else that equals 25 and is an integer found on the number line? So right now, I know 5's on a number line. Is there another number multiplied to itself that can get me 25? Yes. What is that number? Negative 5. Negative 5 times negative 5 is 25, just like positive 5 times 5 is 25. So the square root of negative 25 is both positive 5 and negative 5. And you write that by using this symbol plus negative. Okay, let's keep going. Take a moment, pause the video, try these 5 on your own. I am going to continue. What is the square root of 49? A number times itself to get 49. 7, positive 7, and negative 7, plus or minus 7. The same thing is true for the square root of 225, positive and negative 15. What about number 3? I see it as a fraction. So what? This could be written as the square root of 36 divided by the square root of 81. What is the square root of 36? 6 and negative 6. What is the square root of 81? 9 and negative 9. Therefore, and I'm sorry, that's a little messy. Therefore, it is plus negative 6 divided by 9. Now, here I have the negative on the outside. So that negative needs to stay on the outside. And my final answer is just negative 15. because again, that negative is on the outside. Here, the negative is on the inside of the radical sign, and that cannot mathematically happen. I want you to pause the video and try to put that in your calculator. You're going to have an error because that is no real solution or an imaginary number. Okay, let's keep going. Looking at the last thing. Square roots of positive numbers have two solutions, both positive and negative. Square roots of negative numbers have no real solution. Take a moment, get that in your notes, and that's the final part for square roots as we move on to cube roots. It's very similar, but now we're talking about, again, a three-dimensional figure, not just a square. And I know that's not a perfect square. A radical, same symbol, but this time it has a 3 on the outside. And it has to so we can know the difference between a square root and a cube root. So they put that 3 on the outside. So we know they're talking about cube roots. Well, what is a cube root? A number multiplied 3 times to itself to equal another number. And a perfect cube, again, just like a perfect square, is an integer and it can be found on a number line. So let's think about this. What about the cube root of 27? That is how you say it. That's the only way. Cube root of 27. What number can I multiply to itself 3 times to get 27? There's only one number in this case. 3 times 3 times 3 equals 27. They all have to be positive. This is not like square roots where you could have a positive or a negative number. Here, with cube roots, it has to be positive numbers when there's a positive number under the radical sign. What do I mean? What if I had negative 3 times 3 times negative 3? Would that equal positive 27? No, it would equal negative 27, and it doesn't work. Therefore, my answer is only one solution, and it has to be positive. And I already talked about that. Here, though, I want you to take a look at this. What if I have a negative under the radical? This case with cube roots, that can be true. The cube root of negative 27 is negative 3. What does that mean? Negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 equals negative 27. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Positive 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. So again, regardless if I have positive in the radical or negative in the radical, cube roots have one solution. Take a moment and pause the video and try these. I will continue. What is a number multiplied to itself 3 times to get me the cube root of 64? 4. Number 2, cube root of 343. 7. Cube root of 125 is 5, but I see that negative on the outside. So let me just go ahead and add the negative with my final answer. And on the last one, number 4, I see that the negative is in the inside. So the cube root of negative 216. What number can I multiply to itself 3 times to get negative 216? Negative 6. Therefore, squares and square roots are inverses of each other. Cubes and cube roots are also inverses of each other. Please, if you can, flip over to the back. We're going to continue practicing by looking at a number line. Now, thinking about your number line, and you should have it from negative 10 to 10. You have some square root signs at the top and some cube roots at the top. Take a moment and fill out your number line with the square and cube roots. Once you're done there, you'll move on to a Venn diagram where you're comparing perfect squares and perfect cubes. With this, there are two numbers that fall in between a perfect square and a perfect cube, so they fall here in that middle because they share a common practice. And then the last part, simplify the following. You are going to practice that on your own and check your answers by your teacher. If you have any questions, watch this video again and follow up by asking your teacher. Thanks for watching.